Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. This is the first episode of our new show playing Free League's Alien RPG, which we have been looking forward to for quite a while now. Um, you can see on the screen there that Dan has been practicing his panic rolls. um, that's just a 7. That's an easy one. That's nothing too bad, Dan. Right, in a moment, we will go round and everyone will introduce themselves and their characters, and we have a slightly different character format with our sci-fi horror shows. What I do is I have because this is a short campaign, I provided everyone with 4 things. Common knowledge about their character that they are going to read out to you, the viewers, and to each other for the first time. So everyone will find out a bit about their character. Um, there is private knowledge, which they may or may not want to keep to themselves. There is secret knowledge, which they should keep to themselves, and everyone's secret knowledge will tell you why. And then there is a goal, and that is a goal for this mini campaign, not for episode 1. Bear that in mind, everybody. And this is going to be a 4 or 5 episode mini campaign exploring LV-832. A world on the edge of the Three World Empire and the Union of Progressive Peoples. I've love all the world stuff, by the way, that you don't see any of in the films, but there's loads of cool stuff in the book. It's a really good system and setting, and I absolutely love Alien. If you've watched any of our Mothership shows that we did, we had those on YouTube. And we've been itching to play Alien for a while, and we were going to hold out till we got back in the studio, but we just couldn't wait. We've postponed our Warhammer Fantasy roleplay so we can fit in this little campaign. So, before we begin, a few announcements. Obviously, we're Twitter affiliates, so if you're an Amazon Prime member, you get 1 free Twitter subscription every month, so please consider supporting Garblag Games with that. Also, check out all our social media. We have links in the About on Twitch. If you're watching back on YouTube later, they're in the video description below. Also, check out our Discord. We've got hundreds of people on there now. Talking, playing games, doing all kinds of stuff, sharing things, all their minis they're painting, or the games they're playing. We've got voice games on the Discord. It's becoming a really cool community, and it's got to a stage now where I don't even have to do stuff for a few days, and there's loads of things going on, and it's great. So come and check that out as well. There's links below in the same places. And finally, our Patreon. If you like what you see and you want to support us, then please check out our Patreon. All of the Evil Gilmore, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel and following us. Welcome to the chat. Hopefully you enjoy the show. Evil Gilmore says, is there going to be an alien in this? We'll see.
Yeah, man, it's just another bug hunt.
It's a bug hunt.
At the beginning of every episode, I'm going to have 5 minutes where I let everyone get all of their quotes out. No. Our Patreon, all of the maps that we're going to use in this show will be given to our Adventurer Tier Plus patrons. So $4 a month and above, you'll receive all the maps that we use in this. And I'm quite pleased with the ones I've made for this show. I think you'll see I used actual GIS technology and real live terrain data. You'll see. Okay, cool. What else? Now, Alien has a stress mechanic in it, and something I wanted to say to our players and to our viewers as well is that at some stages in the game, player agency is taken away when fear grips you. You are out of control of your character, and when you make panic rolls, sometimes this will make you do things that you weren't planning on doing and you wouldn't normally do, and it would only happen when there's a facehugger jumping at you or an alien descending on you from above, or you find a torn up corpse of one of your colleagues. We just had Lucas Avis follow us. Thank you very much. We hope you enjoy the show. So as I was saying, your agency can be taken away. Just roll with it, guys. I know that's not normally what happens. I know people sometimes have problems with like mind effect spells that make you do things, or hold spells in D&D and things like that. In this, there will be occasion to make panic rolls. and we'll roll with that. Okay.
Not for Roger though, because he's too cool to panic.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, not my character. He'll shit himself.
Yes. And this is also a show for adults. So there will be harsh language. There will be depictions of violence, verbal depictions
Screaming.
of violence. I'm not actually showing you.
Tactical nukes.
Tactical nukes from orbit.
Sharp sticks.
Sharp sticks.
Sharp
Whap,
sticks.
everything. Yeah. So there will be some mild body horror. It is alien. It is sci-fi horror. So if any of that, you're not keen on any of that right now, then please go and check out some of our other YouTube stuff. We've got loads of videos. Not the Mothership.
Or really not the Mage game either. There was
there was a bit of
pulsating membranes in that.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so before we get into our scenario and I give you a little rundown, we're going to go round and the players are going to say who they are, who they're playing, and they're going to give us the common knowledge. They're going to just vaguely physically describe their character and then give us their common knowledge. So the things that everybody else knows about them. I will also be sharing all of these secret bits with our patrons, maybe after a couple of episodes, so they can see where it might be going, which could be quite interesting. So I think we'll start below me with Ben.
Hello, I'm Ben, and switching to in character. Yeah, hello, I am Kurt Engels. I am from Hamburg, Germany. I am geological and material science expert. I am assigned to this mission by the Royal Institute of Geological and Petrochemical Sciences. I'm very enthusiastic about my science and dynamic in my approach to field research. You've got to get in and really get your hands dirty. I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty with heavy machinery either, and often help the roughnecks out with the ship maintenance where it is necessary. Kurt Engels is a tall, heavy-set gentleman with a shaven head and a neatly trimmed goatee. Sometimes when he's reading in his bunk, he will wear a little pair of round glasses. You probably as an affectation, because I doubt too many people at this time frame actually have bad eyesight anymore.
You'd be surprised. Not everyone can afford those cool eye treatments. Okay, who wants to go next? Don't all jump at once. Simon.
Okay. So I'm playing Marshall Rose. So my character looks like he's been in the wars. He looks like he's had one too many battles. He doesn't move very quickly. Everything he seems to do, he does with a bit of purpose. And he just looks a bit old, you know, that kind of like, he's probably got a jumper somewhere. You know? So I'll read my common knowledge. I am the inbound marshal for the 3 World Empire colony on LV-832 and authorized to maintain law and order on world in liaison with the mission leader. My primary concern is the security and safety of everyone in the colony and staying conscious. I am a retired soldier and ex-Blade Runner who has appeared several times in the media for high-profile arrests and cases.
Which is how you all know he's an ex-Blade Runner.
Which is how you all know an ex-Blade Runner.
Okay, cool. Right, let's go with Mark.
I am playing Holder, and I am the company agent. Consistency is the characteristic which I hold most dear. So in that spirit, I've done no preparation. So I don't know what my character looks like. So just visualize this, and that's my character.
Okay.
In every other regard, though, I'm not going to be breaking the fourth wall in any way. I'm going to be completely in character at all times. So I am the Weyland-Yutani representative for the mission. I'm here to represent company interests, confirm the mineral rights of the colony, and negotiate repayment timelines. I have an inquisitive nature and... Hang on. Oh, this is the bit I'm supposed to read. Good. I have an inquisitive nature and I'm genuinely interested in what my colleagues are doing at all times. Most of the crew distrust me due to my chosen career, but I'm honestly just a nice guy and want to work as part of the team.
I just trust you.
Yeah, I think it was the wink that kind of put me off there.
Okay, cool. And I don't know whether we should try this, Dan. Dan.
Okay, well, I'll start out of character first. So I'm playing Mac. He's the pilot, and he's slender build. Looks like he takes care of himself. He's slightly older, probably not as old as Marshall, but he is a bit older. He's what you would call a silver fox. You know, he looks like it, but he has a perfectly groomed moustache. You know, and he likes to say it's all about having it like the old flyboys used to have, perfectly groomed. He is a Yank, and I am going to be attempting it. So here we go. Yeehaw, guys! Welcome to my ship. I'm the ship's pilot. I don't hugely care about anything else other than this has got gasoline or generates torque. I was reprimanded at my last post and I was busted down to ferryman for colonists out to the ass end of space. I'm not a colonist, but I have a job to do, and you're lucky because I'm the best damn pilot you ever have. And that's it. That's back.
Did you all get that, guys?
Oh,
I
yeah.
apologise in advance.
Not a word.
And people in chat, please tell us if Dan's American accent is offensive or just crap.
Or both.
Stop if it's offensive. I won't
Clearly
stop if
she's
it's
come
crap.
to steal them.
Yeah. Cool. And last but not least, we have Roger.
Okay, so I am playing James Shepherd, who is a medic. He's in his mid-30s. He's about 6'2" with short, dusky blonde hair and ice blue eyes. He's physically fit, having recently left his career in the Marines, and he has a unit tattoo on his right bicep. Common knowledge was he was a Marine in the Three World Empire for many tours of duty and specialised as a field medic and became his detachment's medical instructor. You don't know why I left the Marines, but I signed up for this low-paid job of ensuring colonists reach LV-832 in one piece. I have tended to minor injuries with the crew, and so far you've all pretty much taken me for granted.
Cool. Okay.
Hi.
So, here we go. You are all asleep in your cryo tubes,
Of course.
and the room brightens slowly, lights filling panels around the walls. Your tubes starting to glow a warm yellow, like the dawn. And more lights come on, and you hear that of computer screens. Now remember, the Alien is set in a retro-futuristic world. It's industrial futurism. So everything is CRT monitors and readouts and gauges and all that kind of stuff. There's no, it's not modern technology. I like the way Ben is getting into character in his cryotube. And slowly, everybody. Oh, here we go. Let's have a roll. Let's see who wakes up first. Everybody, make a stamina check, please.
How would we do such a thing?
So go open up your character sheet on roll 20, and if you go to your character sheet section, you'll find a lovely made.
Oh, look at that.
I'm going to show this off to our viewers quickly and switch to our other screen. Haha! There we go. This is for maps and such.
Oh no, it didn't do it.
So, Engels, you can roll for stamina using wits instead of strength. You all have 2 talents. So go and click on your stamina.
Mine won't respond, but my stamina is 0, so...
Yeah, mine comes up with input value.
There's a box that pops up.
Zero.
Yeah,
modifier,
put 0.
So just leave it
So
0.
you're adding in a modifier. I'm not
Okay.
putting any modifier on this just yet.
Where even is wits?
Wits is just your wits is 5. You can also just go up and roll a number of dice.
Oh, legit, I cannot see
roll
wits.
buttons.
I'm being pathetic.
No, I can't see it either.
It's on the right.
Oh, there it
an
is.
Attribute.
It's an attribute,
Yeah.
yes.
So you can add your wits. You can roll your wits instead.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, is
Okay.
everyone rolling? Sorry, viewers, we're just getting used to roll
mine is-
20.
I have
Mine is
rolled.
working. I'm clicking on stamina and it just doesn't do anything.
There should be a pop-up box that comes up saying modifier.
Oh, input value modifier. Oh, it's on a
0.
different window. 0, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and just click submit.
And then submit.
Okay.
All right.
No successes for Holder. Now, these dice in Alien, if you don't have the special funky dice, which I've got a set of, but I'm not going to get to actually roll in the game, a 6 is a success, and that's represented by one of these little bursts on the screen.
Wicked.
But to do my wits, I had to do it like that because clicking on the wits doesn't seem to do anything.
Oh, just change one of your wit skills to 0 and then click on that. That'll do.
Okay.
It's fine. You've done it. You got 1 success. You got a 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we look, Shepherd, you got 1 success. Rose, you got 2 successes. Holder, you got no successes, and Engels, you got 1 success. So, Rose, you are the first to awaken from your slumber, and you're all in your briefs, as you are, and you start to rouse. And standing in the far corner of the room is Captain Burrows, who is the officer of the ship. And he looks over and says, Rose, you're awake. Great. Can you help me with the others? Yeah, you've been in this chamber before, obviously when you got in, and you know that the locker's over to one side where all of you have put your personal belongings, and there's a small key on a little chain around your neck that you can use to go and open that up and get your clothes and gear.
Can I just ask you, are there any details here that are out of place?
You have to make a roll, don't you?
I have to make a roll.
Yeah.
I've got to find it. Oh,
Yeah.
Clicked on it. No modifiers.
Yep.
No, I know nothing.
6 dice and no nothing. Nothing does look out of place. All the readouts are working fine. There's one other pod that hasn't been awakened yet, and you can see that that's Chief Engineer Hughes.
Okay.
But Holder, Engels, Shepherd, and Mac are all being awakened. Now, you guys are all on board the Sojourn, which is a 3-world Empire vessel headed out to LV-832. You guys are a follow-up to a colony seeding mission that's put a base down on the planet. LV-832 is a near-Earth world on the very frontier of civilized space, near the edge of the 3-world Empire and the Union of Progressive Peoples. The 3-world Empire is the fusion of Britain and Japan that happened when Wayland and Yutani became Wayland-Yutani, and they are one of the most technologically advanced empires in the galaxy. Not the biggest and not the most resource rich. That's the United Americas. But they are technologically advanced, and it is the only habitable planet in the system which is dominated by a vast blue gas giant and a few meager rocks in inner orbits. The paperwork from a survey mission 30 years ago finally made its way to the top of some pen-pusher's pile 6 years ago. The metallurgical analysis of LV-832 showed extremely high deposits of several interesting and lucrative heavy metals. The local 3-world Empire governor was suddenly prioritized for Wayland-Yutani technical funding and infrastructure improvements. A mission was mounted to build a forward outpost, a scientific survey station from which subsequent teams could coordinate mining efforts and mount exploratory exercises. And you are one of the follow-up teams. The ship you are in has got 100 colonists in deep freeze, like proper deep freeze in the back. And the captain says to you, right, we've arrived. It seems there's been some interesting things going on while we've been asleep. Let's get some coffee and go to the briefing room, and I'll when they're all awake, I'll tell you what's going on, because this is going to be a real fucking headache. He heads off.
All right. I'll go to my locker.
Okay.
And I'll get my stuff.
You pull out all your fatigued.
Likewise, I shall.
Yeah.
Are we civilian clothes, or are we coveralls?
You're in
and
kind of ship,
ship coveralls. At this
yeah,
stage,
ship
yeah.
onesies kind of things. Yeah. By the way, Dan, the people in chat loved your accent. We have
Oh no!
non-anomaly
It's
said.
staying. It's staying.
Non-anomaly said, as a Southern girl, I give the American accent a thumbs up if you promise not to judge my British accent. We won't.
Never.
We haven't heard
So-
it yet.
No.
No
It's not
promises.
that. You know straight away, and I know you're watching right now. It's definitely going to be the standard. Righto, tip, oh chap. It's gonna be Daffy Duck. That's it. That's the only
Or
English
Cockney.
accent Americans.
No, it'll be
or
Dick
Cockney.
Van Dyke Cockney.
Yeah, yeah.
So terrible.
God blimey, Mary
But we won't
Poppins.
judge because
Right there, Gomer.
I can't do half of the British accents, so I'm not even going to judge anyone
do-
on any accent.
You do Yorkshire so well.
I do, don't I? Yes, I do dwarf really well. Oh, watch it, you. Eeyot lad. Right. Anyway, let's carry on with the game. You're all now awake, and you're all getting up, moving around. That stiff-limbed feeling of cryo sleep that some of you are more familiar with than others, and you're moving about in that kind of sleepy haze, getting your. It's just personal effects. You're not. This isn't like you're kitted out with guns and all this. You're on the ship. You're in the safe zones of the ship, and you're just coming out for a briefing. So you gather all your things and make your way to the briefing room. On the side of the briefing room, which is adjoining the bridge, is also adjoining the mother room. And if you hadn't noticed, I'm not the games master tonight. I am mother, because it's always mother who fucks you over. In Alien. There is the adjoining mother room, and the captain's coming out of the mother chamber and comes in and says, you're all here. Excellent. excellent. Right. Well, as you know, we've arrived here. We're following up on the original colony vessel. I've been in contact with them on the surface, and it seems that Lee's is there in charge. It seems to be intact. Everyone's there. Everyone's fine. However, there's a minor complication, and he brings up on a screen.
Oh my goodness, this is very bad coffee. I'm
Hey,
sorry, who made this?
hey, we do better tea.
Oh, okay. I would stay if it's a bad coffee.
Let's
Thank
if
you.
you can go to the map and because I'm going to point out some things to you on the map. The planetary map, the one of the terrain that I've brought you all to. So
Yeah.
this comes up on the tape on the table. Big, crappy, thick monitor built into this table, not some streamlined, thing. And there's like a few coffee rings around the corners, and there's not very good lighting in here as is standard on these kinds of vessels. And he points to this area here, and he says, "Oh yeah, there's the colony. They have." I think they're calling it Reddy's Prospect, after Governor Reddy. She figured it out apparently. Anyway, they're there. They're fine. They're all set up. They've salvaged most of their incoming vessel to build the colony. Kind of a one-way thing, building a colony. And once you guys go down and establish everything's okay and do whatever you need to do with your documents and contracts and everything, then we'll arrange for the colonists to come down to the planet. The challenge is, and this is why I've held off on waking everybody else up. There's been a sighting of a UPP ship. Now, you all know who the UPP is, and I will give you the potted version in the book here, the Union of Progressive Peoples, 229. Here we go. In the book, if you're following along at home. The Union of Progressive Peoples, a socialist government that controls a vast area of colonized space. The Union of Progressive Peoples is also the most resource poor of the interstellar nations. Although impoverished and overcrowded, in the UPP the workers control the means of production. A state of Cold War exists between the UPP and their longtime rivals, the UA, the United Americas. And standoffs between the Union of Progressive Peoples Space Operating Forces and the United States Colonial Marine Corps become more and more frequent every year. So it is it's a socialist government with a president as the head of state and a premier who presides over the state council. The UPP frontier is overseen by a governor general and naval task force, and each colony has its own mayor. This is the combination of China and Russia in the early 22nd century in response to the combined threat of the Three World Empire and the United Americas. And additional member states include Vietnam, Germany, Spain, and several other Asian and Eastern European countries. At the time of its inception, many androids were already in use within the member states of the UPP. They were not, however, granted citizenship status of any kind. Now, over 60 years later, they are still just considered machines and the property of the state. So artificial people don't have their own freedom in the UPP. They're not seen as people. Just an interesting fact there for you. So he points out this red icon on the table, kind of like angrily. Yeah, there's some kind of landing site. The colonists, when they arrived, they sat down and they got stripped all their ship apart, and then like a few weeks later, a UPP ship flew over and dropped off some sort of scout vessel that landed on the surface. Apparently, this is the data packet that I've received from Lee's down on at the colony, and they called in for help. They I believe, Holder, your people called in a favor with a nearby USCMC ship, and some Marines were diverted, and between them arriving and us arriving, a ship, some Marines have landed on the planet. And as he changes the with kind of punchy buttons that look like someone's hacked an old phone apart and jammed it on the side of the table. He brings up like a view of the planet, just the atmosphere, and there's a ship in orbit. He says that's their ship over there. I've just had a brief conversation with them, and they've got an android manning the vessel while the Marines are down on the surface, and they seem they're keeping their distance. We're staying over here. We're being good civilians and not going anywhere near their vessel, he says, looking at Mac. Yeah.
Who is it that's telling us this?
Sorry?
Who is it that's telling us this?
This is the captain, Captain Burrows.
Oh, right, okay.
Captain of your ship.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere near their vessel. Look, I've spoken to them. They're fine. They know we've got a job to do. The Marines are down there checking out what the UPP are up to. The only other contributing factor to this is what I wasn't aware of in the original report that I've seen, which has obviously been redacted. There are some weird fucking monoliths off in the northeast from the colony site, which apparently Lees tells me the UPP have been moving towards. So there's.
It sounds fascinating. Will we get the chance to do any sightseeing while we're down there?
Look, I get that the Marines need to get their guns out and wave them around, but there's a very simple process involved in this. We staked a claim on this land and the resources therein, and there's no dispute to be had here. We just need to go and plant the flag, and then we can all live.
We've got the flag. The flag is flying. The triple flag is flying.
Why are we discussing this?
Come on,
telling the UPP.
We're discussing this because we need to know what's happening on this planet. before we get all these colonists from here to the colony.
Well,
If we didn't have this
Well,
conversation,
the colonists are not the concern of the company. You know, we need to just
There's
establish that the UPP are not trying to do something that would infringe our rights.
well, hopefully the Marines will get rid of the UPP.
Well, I've been
Hot
told
damn,
that
it sounds like a tickle, though.
the lieutenant or their officer is at the colony site coordinating the Marines remotely. So maybe you can find out when you're down there and let me know what's going on. That would be very useful. I need to wake up Hughes, and we need to go and run a foot because I've only been up for about an hour because and I've had these ships appearing and all kinds of stuff going on. Look, I need to go and check the colonists, right? Rose, can I trust you to like coordinate you
Yep.
crazy people, and
Yeah.
sort this out?
okay, that's
Cool.
fine.
Right. Mac, you know where the ship is, right?
Hell yeah, I do.
Okay. Just don't get within 10 clicks of that ship, he says, pointing at the screen.
Captain, you don't need to worry about it. We're going to be fine.
Okay.
And he chucks you a cheeky smile.
Okay. Well, look, grab any gear you need from the supply cabinets and the armory, and I don't know what's going to be going on down there, but I need information. So if you guys can, get your asses in
Surely
gear
it
and
will not
sort
be
it out.
necessary to arm ourselves. Presumably that's what the Marines are for.
Oh yeah, I've just been told that there are like these kind of large crocodile things down there, so it might be good just to. It's quite wet. It's quite, there's a, they're near the lake, and you need to. I don't know.
Okay, so for defense against indigenous life, I see.
Well, I would like to point out in response to that any indigenous life forms are the property of the company, and any defensive action taken against them may result in penalty. So
I would
Damn,
assume.
boy, you just a killjoy.
I would
I'm
assume
sure you
though,
can keep
Holder,
that in mind
someone
when one's trying to eat you.
Someone has the right to self-defense. So I'll leave that between the five of
well,
you to sort out.
sure, but
And he's as you start talking, he's had enough.
There may be a financial consequence to that. That's all I'm saying.
Have we landed at this temporary dock? Is that where we landed?
No,
That's
you're
where
still
we're
in
gonna be
space.
landing.
You're in
No,
orbit.
we're in space.
Oh, we're still in orbit.
Yeah, you're in
Okay.
orbit on the
Right.
big spaceship,
Yeah.
and you are looking at this map of the
Right.
planet. So the colony itself has a landing pad for small flight craft, like the kind of thing that you'll be, like a shuttle that you'd be taking down.
Okay. But when we took all the colonists down,
They haven't
we
got
We
any.
just
haven't
shuttle.
taken them yet. They're still asleep.
Yeah, you'll have to go
No,
up
no.
and down, shuttle them up and down.
We just
There are
shuttle
more
them up and down.
shuttles. You can just
Okay.
bring them all down.
Yeah.
Well, initially, I have some survey equipment that will need to be taken down to the surface. Though there's quite a lot. So maybe I should just go and get on with loading.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. So we're gonna have like 20 minutes, and then we're gonna go down.
Whatever you
Oh.
do, Angles, don't make my ship too heavy.
No,
She won't handle right.
I've done this before. I will make sure to balance the load.
And
Okay.
then
well,
Mac takes a sip of his coffee and goes, "Oh, damn, you were right. That is a rough coffee."
Yeah, right. I know.
okay. I'm heading to the armory.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to head there too.
The ship is stocked with, it has 10 service pistols. They're kind of M4A3 service pistol, which is a fairly standard automatic sidearm. Yeah.
Okay.
They have a, let's have a look. They have 2 Rexim EVA pistols, which is a weaponized version of a Weyland-Yutani laser welder. And 2 Watatsumi bolt guns, which are a construction tool that uses expanding bolts to make emergency hull repairs. can be turned into an improvised weapon, firing bolts like a single round shotgun. They don't. Funnily enough, this colony ship doesn't come with like pulse rifles or smart cannons or anything like that. It's just like they're small arms kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're not
Like a
even
T-Rex.
the 10 pistols aren't all the same. Even they're kind of old guns that they've got left over to support.
Have I got my own sidearm being a
You do have your own. You do have your own pistol.
I assume I'd have my own sidearm.
Now you can have either a service pistol or a Magnum revolver.
Oh, I think you'll find I'll have a Magnum revolver.
Okay. So a service pistol gives you a bonus of +2. So when you roll to attack, it's quite accurate. So it gives you 2 extra and a damage of 1. Whereas a revolver is only a bonus of +1, but a damage of 2. So do you want accuracy or damage? Is effectively, I'm happy for you guys to pick a gun that's either +2 to hit, 1 damage, or +1 to hit and 2 damage.
I would definitely pick a revolver.
Okay. That's
So
fine.
should we all be putting one of those down on our character sheets?
If you want one, you don't have to have one, Engels.
Well, that was out of character. You should know, because when I'm in character, I will talk like this.
Okay. Okay, sorry.
I imagine I would take one of each.
Okay, sure.
Because everyone has no. Everyone everyone has a spare.
I assume I'd take one of everything.
Yeah, because if someone takes your gun off you, right, and you're like, oh no, you take my gun off me, and then you're like, because I've still got a gun. Where it is.
I'll take one of those bolt gun things as well.
Okay, sure. A bolt gun. As I said, it's like a improvised weapon, so it has no bonus to attack, but it does 3 damage.
What was the one that was 2 bonus and 1 damage?
A service pistol, like a standard.
Pistol.
Yeah, I'm just
Like
going
a
to say that's
Beretta.
like like a Beretta, standard automatic pistol. The bolt gun is single shot, which I believe means you have to make a supply roll every time you shoot it.
Okay.
In Alien, we make supply rolls when you're in a situation where your resources might run out, like when you go down to the planet. You may run out of air, you may run out of food, and you have to make supply rolls. When your supplies are high, it's easy, and you may not lose them. Air, food, power, and water. But as it goes on, you will find that these start to run out, and this will cause you stress. And as you gain stress, you gain dice in your actions because adrenaline powers you. But also, if you roll a 1 on those dice, which is represented by a little facehugger symbol on them, and they're yellow dice, so we'll be able to see them quite clearly, then you make a panic roll to see if you panic due to the stress that you've suffered. Now, having a few points of stress will probably not trigger panic, but once you get into the realms of 5 and above, then you're, fairly sure that something weird is going to be going on. And what will often happen is you'll trigger somebody else to panic as well.
Panic.
Now, you have abilities, so you have talents. In the top right of your character sheet, there are like 5 like Roman numeral things under talents. You have something in 1 and 2. So you should have a look at those, because some of you deal with panic better, and some of you can do what's called pushing easier. If you want to push, you can basically re-roll any of the dice that you just rolled, but you take a point of stress, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know what mine does.
You just click on the number 2 button.
What does it say?
Nerves of steel.
Yep. And what does it say underneath it?
Oh, I see. So I've only got 1 talent. Oh, I'm with you. Sorry. Oh no, never mind. So keep a cool head. In all situations, and -2 modification to all panic rolls.
There you go. So when you roll panic, you -2 from your result. So you're actually, because of your previous experience and you're a medic, you're used to keeping your cool and not panicking in the face of like gruesome blood spurting everywhere and things like that. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Also, we have. There are breathers. You'll need breathers to go down to the surface because it's got a high nitrogen. There's a slight imbalance in the atmosphere, so you'll need your breathers.
Yeah.
And there's 4 sets of binoculars. There is a M314 motion tracker.
Oh yes, I'm taking that.
I'll take some binoculars.
Yeah, I'll take some binoculars
Yeah,
as well.
same.
Cool. There's like a set of electronics tools. There is a couple of personal med kits.
Oh,
Yep. There
I'll take one
are
of those. Yeah.
3 doses of Naprolieve, reduces stress level to 0.
I'll take them and put them in my med kit.
Okay.
I'll take the electronic tools if no one else has.
I don't think
Sorry,
anyone
what
else
was that
has.
called? Nap relief.
Naprolieve.
As in, it relieves you from needing to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if anyone's drunk coffee, you need to add 1 to your stress level.
I mean, we didn't. It was awful.
It was very bad. Took like one small sip and nothing.
Coffee gives stress +1. Beer, stress -1.
Oh, get
and
in.
-1 to wits-based skills. So I should say to our viewers, this is the first time that we've played Alien, if you hadn't guessed. So we're just figuring some of these bits out. And
Is
the
there
rest,
any sort of scanning stuff that I need to take down for my
yeah,
analyses
there's
of
like
various
a
things?
terminal and some gear and equipment and things. The colony, the guys that have gone down though, have lots of equipment.
Okay.
And what is actually pointed out on the map is there are 10 mineral survey points that they've put down.
Is there like a handheld scanny type device
There is.
that could be used for sort of
It
in the
is.
field testing?
Let me have a look.
A tricorder.
Yeah.
By the way, Dan, you have to wear a cowboy hat and have a straw in the next episode.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
been personally requested.
Okay, right.
Absolutely.
Oh, actually, do you know what? Actually, I think I had a Rick Grimes sheriff fancy dress outfit once with the cowboy hat.
Oh, really?
I'll see what I can do. I'm sure it's in the fancy dress box somewhere,
So
which is also giving people an insight into my life that they didn't probably need.
the fancy dress box. Okay, you've
It's not
got
as fun as it sounds.
Or as I call it, the cupboard.
you have a Seegson PDAT, which is a personal data tablet. It's bulky. It's got some data on it. There's not like tricorders. They don't really exist. You need to go and stick long spikes into the ground and drill down and like check.
That's one of the reasons I agreed to be the scientist. The chance to like stick big metal spikes in the ground and one
so for
leg
the,
up on a rock.
So the breathers, do they work on canisters or like gas canisters?
Yes, they do, and they will give you an air supply. So I just need to get to the supply rules. While you're all doing this, Mac, I assume you're also prepping the shuttle to take you down.
Yeah. So Mac went to his locker and got the only thing that really matters to him, his aviators.
Cool.
And despite it being the bleakest black of space, he will probably still wear them. And he's just in the cockpit now, just doing his pre-flight checks. You hear the clicking of the buttons above him, and his hands are just. And he's like watching his weight counter as well to make sure that Ingalls isn't putting too much on the shuttle because he doesn't want it to be too heavy.
Just put a couple of data terminals on. Like he's brought his PC with him, basically, like from the 90s. Keyboard, tower. It's like old LAN parties. I remember those days.
When we were looking at that big map, did we see like sort of wind speeds and stuff? That would matter for the pilot.
Yeah. So you've got in the data packet that was sent up from the surface, you can see that there's actually fairly strong wind speeds and high levels of precipitation.
Excellent. The best weather to be landed in.
Yes. Yeah, we may.
It's Alien, dude. What kind of weather were you expecting to be landing in?
Beautiful, sunny.
Beautiful meadows and sunshine. Okay, so you're gathering all your gear, putting all your stuff together, and you head to the shuttle. And Mac's there in the pilot seat. These things are, industrial utilitarian. There's very little comfort. You're all racked up with kind of, roller coaster style APC a la APC kind of pull down things. And someone's saying, what about a P5000 powered workloader? You never know when a queen is going to stop by for a bite. Aaron, maybe later. We'll see what's going on down at the colony, shall we?
Get away from her, you bitch!
Yeah.
Someone has to drop it. Someone has to drop it. at some point.
Absolutely.
I would say if one of us suddenly shaves our head before an episode, you'd be worried, but
I mean, me and Ben probably already gonna
Yeah. What are you
However,
saying?
will they tell?
Yeah. Okay. So, you head down. You get clearance from the captain to leave the bay. And these aren't the nice little let's fly out of a thing. You've gone through a door and basically a clamp lets go of you. And then it's like a controlled descent down into the
There's
orbit.
nothing controlled about it.
Because this is like really, it's Nibby 72's, but express elevator to hell.
Going down.
Yeah.
How many drops is this for you, Mac?
Ladies and
Getting
gentlemen.
simulated?
Here we go. Right. So,
Welcome aboard this Colonial Airlines flight, ladies and gentlemen. We will be heading down to the surface real fast, so hold on tight. I've only almost died 5 times doing this, so we should be okay. However, it's going to be a bumpy ride because those wind speeds are coming in real fast, and it's wet, so I can't see nothing. So don't worry, we should get there in one piece. And then that release the clamp and we drop.
While he's doing this, I'm just gonna try and. Have I got access to anything that I can use to check his qualifications?
you've actually seen his qualifications, and they are impressive.
Okay, nonetheless, I have concerns.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going to be sat there calmly chewing gum like it's no big deal.
Okay, right. Well, sorry, I'm just trying to find the gaining stress. Here we go. There we go. It's in a few places. Right, there we go. That's good. It just says, here are the things that instantly give you a point of stress. Okay, so the clamps release and you are pulled in by the gravitational forces of LV-832 and you hit atmosphere and the shuttle is kind of shaking and you're all in there. It's all, outside the windows. There's a bit of fire kind of shooting past. These things are rated for atmospheric entry, as you know, but this shuttle might be about 50 years old, so you're never quite sure. What we will need is a roll from Mac for his
pre-game rolls did not go well.
You can't leave a dropship landing to the roll of a dice. That's irrational.
Now
and TPK session 1.
No.
This will be the shortest offensive of all time.
Remember, viewers, if you have 1,000 Garblag Groats, you can pay for a re-roll for one of our players, which would be a free push. Aha! You got a success. There you go. But you can pay for a re-roll, which would be a free push without the stress. Or our players, if you roll and you're not happy with your successes, you can roll as many of the dice you want to again. So say you wanted to get 3 successes, Dan, to do something really cool and loop the loop and and that kind of thing. You could go, I'm going to re-roll those and I'm going to push myself. But that will give you stress.
Yeah, I think I'm going to avoid that right now. And you're just going to hear from the front, like, come on, you bucket of rust, hold together now. And you can fight with it to get it through there.
Okay, cool. So it's shaking, rain is hitting the windshield. And after a while, you get through the re-entry, the troposphere, the upper levels, and out into a thick cloud layer that you'd seen from orbit, and you sort of head down under that deck, and as you do, going through the clouds, you get the turbulence, and you can hear in the distance kind of grumbles of kind of thunder off in the clouds away from you. And Dan, you're heading down. Your little screen has got one of those polygon map things like tuk, 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 and you're like flying along between old Amiga style computer screen mountains like Captain Blood. I don't know if you guys ever played that one. That's really old, that one. And you are flying down. You can see down below you the flickering lights. You know, they have the little transpondery type things, so you don't fly into it. Of the colony. Off to the left, you can see there is a large. To the west. Each of the hexagons on this map is 5 miles. You can see off to the west there is a terraforming unit which is doing the last vestiges of fully converting the atmosphere to be fully human breathable.
Oh, it's a shake and bake colony.
And you can't really from here see the UPP landing site or the monoliths. There's no kind of lights indicating them, no big points on the ground, and no big text showing you where they are in the mountains. This is chaotic mountainous terrain around you, as you can see, and there are kind of this big lake leads up to the colony site, and you can see down at the edge of the lake near the terraforming unit as you come in flying over the lake, sort of from here. You sort of come in at this location here, Dan. Yeah, do you see that? Yeah.
Yep.
And you're flying
Yeah,
towards the colony, so you're sort of flying across there.
Across the water.
Yeah,
the
across
widest
the
point
water.
where there's less likely to be mountains in my way.
Yeah. And you can see off as you pass it directly to your north, this small structure with a jetty over by the edge of the water. Clearly the temporary dock that's been set up. So you flying in, and you get as you get down under the cloud layer, you get radioed. Hi, this is Chaguri at Reddy's Prospect. Sojourn shuttle, come in.
Hey there, guys. It's Mac here, and I'm bringing in the ship for landing.
Okay. The we just cleared the landing pad. Put the trucks back in the shed, so it should be fine for you. Just take it easy, all right? It's fucking choppy out there today.
Ah, it's fine weather we're having. Absolutely fine weather. Beautiful weather for landing in. Can't see anything.
Well, we've turned all the lights on. Just don't hit the comm relay.
Have you? And he takes off his aviators to try and look through the window. He puts his aviators back. Can't see him. Don't worry. I'll put it down fine. Let's hope there's no trucks left on the pad, though.
Okay.
I'm just going to grip a little bit more tightly into my roller coaster.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're holding on to it. Shepherd's asleep. And you're flying over this. It's quite a nice view, actually. This kind of, if any of you have been to Switzerland, it's kind of these mountainous lakes, big mountains with the beautiful. I mean, the surface of the water is a bit choppy right now because of all the rain hitting it. But you can imagine it on a clear day. This is quite nice. Not that you're sure if this planet
Mac almost tilts the
days.
ship a little bit so he can get a better view of the water. And he's like, do some fine fishing. Do some fine fishing down there. The ship's like on a tilt now because I'm just looking at the water. You could do some fine fishing in that lake, and it just brings it back on level.
Dan, there's a particular pilot phrase that people in the chat are asking you to say.
I can't see the chat. What is it?
Coming in 5x5 or
In the pipe.
in the pipe, yeah.
Coming in 5x5.
So you head in towards the colony, and I'll now show you the map of the colony. And I will move over to that one as well. So you might want to zoom out.
Which is the room that's got the mice in and a soggy donut?
So this is Reddy's prospect. The colony that you can see, and there is a retaining wall around it. And as you fly in towards it, you can see that there is a comm relay here in the kind of almost the center of the area, which has got like a big dish, and it's kind of rotating. There are retaining walls between the landing pad and the fuel depot and the rest of the compound. Large tarmac areas where you can actually see sort of over here a couple of trucks parked up, and over parked about here as you pull over the top, a large rover vehicle with sort of 8 sort of 10-foot tall tires, that kind of size. It's like a planetary survey vehicle parked up over there. And the landing bay is very clear for you to see, Mac. There are lights, blinking all around this area. And you can see that there are buildings that look like they're made out of the pieces of a ship that's very similar to yours. So large sections, very thick sort of hulls. You can see lights and windows have been kind of cut into them, but with obviously with thick glass in there. And you can see a bit of light and activity in this. Oh, let me ping it. This building. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah.
This
Oh, there,
building.
yeah.
Yep. And these buildings over this side. All of those. And you bring the ship in.
Before I touch down, I go, "Oh God, it's going out of control!" And I shake the ship around a little bit just to scare the crap out of the agent guy, because I've seen him gripping the most of the time. So, "Oh my God, it's out of control!" Oh, no, I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking, and I put it down.
Okay. You get comm from Chiguri. Pilot, what are you doing?
And there was a crosswind, terrible crosswind. Just took the tail away from me there a little bit, but don't you worry, I'm going to set her down just right.
And he does that.
Okay. Well, Cobb is out there waiting for you. And sorry, most people are up in the ops center, like checking what's going on with these Marines. So I'm going to head over there now. So Cobb will sort you out, bring you in, get you set up, and don't forget, if you step out of a door outside, have your breather on. The pressure is fine. Your blood's not gonna boil. It's a little bit cold, but really, after a while, you're gonna get hypoxia and like pass out. So always have your breather on. You can be outside for like 5-10 minutes tops without a breather. Everybody write that down. And
I'm
otherwise,
sure that'll never become relevant.
Okay, but welcome to Reddy's prospect, and I'll meet you at some point, probably in the pub. And then he ends the call. He ends the communication. And as you kind of settle down, the wind is kind of blowing the rain in at like a 45-degree angle. So, and as you bring the ramp down, the rain comes in through the back, and your roller coaster bars roll up, and all your gear is there, stowed away, stashed away, and everything. And a man walks in the back, tall black man wearing a cap, and he's got a kind of heavy stubble, not beard, but just like hasn't shaven in a while look. His clothes are quite oily and dirty. It's got coveralls, and looks like he's clearly some sort of roughneck or engineer or something. And he looks around and he goes, "You all down here to sort out the? Are you here for the Marines or are you here for the colony? They don't talk to me much. What's going on? Come on, who's?"
A
live
little
at
bit
the
of both. I'm
colony.
here for the surveying.
Oh, right. Okay. Colony people. Right. Okay. So the ship's up in
They're
orbit.
not
Is it with the rest
colonists,
of?
but the colonists are still up in space.
Sure. Whatever. Okay. You're the right people. Good. I'm just checking. I've been so busy recently, I haven't really had time to meet with Lees and discuss all protocol and all those things. So,
Oh no, don't worry about protocol. We'll be fine. Just point me towards the lab, and
well, I have to
I'm
take
sure
you
I
through
can.
the arrivals area and through to the ops center. There's a couple of secure doors that I'll need to scan through until you get passes.
Yeah, for
You won't be able
sure.
to get through. I'm Cobb. I'm chief engineer. Um, don't mess around with my machinery. If you see something that looks like it's broken, find an intercom, call me. Don't try and fix it yourself. You're probably not rated for what we've got going on here. He looks around and then looks at Engels and goes, except for maybe you.
I'm
Yeah,
still
I have
asleep.
a little experience with heavy machinery, so. But no, don't worry. I will still call you. If you are busy and you need a hand, let me know. So yeah.
Oh, I've got a team. I mean, half of them are off at the atmospheric plant right now. But hey, let's go. Come on. He's kind of walks off towards the
I'm gonna wake
arrivals.
Roger up, give him a little shake.
Somebody
Oh.
wake up, Shepard.
Hey, Shepard, wake up.
Oh, we're here. Oh, yeah, it's raining just like home.
Yeah, I know. It's very very
As
similar.
Mac walks past, he goes, "Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for flying Colonial Airlines. Now, if you could all get off the ship, we'll get on our way." And he taps the side of the ship and goes, "Well done, girl. Well done." Makes his way down the ramp.
Okay, so you all go off to the. There is. I'm gonna. Now, if you zoom in, you can see there's some text on all of these things. And a high resolution version of this will be given to our Adventurer Tier Plus patrons very soon. And the arrivals center is here, and you go in. Now, if you see green, that means a wall. Yellow means some sort of interior walling or potentially power cabling or environmental ducts and that kind of thing. And black is obviously the spaces inside. Not every interior wall is drawn here. There are doors to every room. If you see a door, that means there is a secure door. I haven't drawn doors to everywhere. I've just marked out like airlock style big doors or
Yeah, I see.
secure doors. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go in through a large entrance. It's like a big thing, and you walk in. And there's a few seats and desks to one side, and he goes straight over to the door over here, and scans his pass, and the door slides open. Big bulky door opens up. He's like, right, follow me. And he starts down the long corridor.
That's a long corridor.
It is a long corridor.
What are these squares?
5
That big
meters.
squares?
5
meters.
meters.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's not that big.
Well,
You could put two of those sentry guns at the end.
Or we need a synth to camo crawl through it.
It's wall to wall in there. Okay. So apologies to viewers. Well, not apologies. You're here watching an Alien show. Obviously, we're going to do Alien quotes at some point. Aliens.
Yeah.
I know that was Aliens. Don't worry. Okay, so you make your way down to the end, and he scans through the next door. Now, this looks like some sort of meet and greet, desks, space to chat, fern in the corner, clearly plastic, water cooler, that kind of sort of office lounge kind of combo,
No, it's a local floor, not quite rated for use inside yet.
Yeah, I don't do plants. And he says, just wait here. I'll see if I can go and get leaves for you. There's I just need to hang on. That's a good point. We need to check you all for any. Oh no, you've gone through a medical scan in cryo, won't you? Have you got your output of your medical scans from your cryo?
I'm assuming we do.
I think Shepard's probably got those.
Yeah.
Yes,
Provide
I
the
do.
information.
I will hand them over.
Right, I'll pass that up to the doc, and I'll go and see if Lise is good to talk to you. She's with Jensen at the moment, but I'll see.
Is the water cooler functional?
It is functional.
I'm going to go fill up my canteen.
Okay, cool. You go fill up your canteen with water.
Force of habit.
That's cool. Yes, if there's
And
water.
I am going to take in the surrounds.
You are inside a 1985 office room, including polystyrene ceiling tiles. There is a long slit window in the wall that allows you to look out across the rain-drenched concrete of the area you've just landed in. And there are no desks as such in here, but more sofas with low tables for people to sit around and sort of wait. And he goes through another secure door.
I'm going to look out the window and try and take in as much of the distant hills and mountains as possible.
Yeah, it's quite impressive. They've found clearly, as you're flying in, you've seen that they've found a broad, flat, open area next to this lake, which has been a really good spot for building this colony. And it's very close to these mountains, so there's kind of suddenly all around you these giant peaks sort of rising up. And there is flora, and it seems to be a mostly kind of what's the word? Thickets and heather and things like that. Low scrub gripping to rocks and things. Like
nitrogen fixing.
Yeah.
Short herbs.
Exactly.
Lichens. These would be the kind of things you would find in this kind of atmosphere. Yeah.
Other than that, it's pretty standard. And after a while, the door opens again, and a tall woman with kind of long hair and a simple ponytail, and she's wearing kind of fatigues, kind of station uniform rather than military fatigues. So it's like a jumpsuit type thing.
As she walks in, Mac kind of just pulls down his glasses a little bit. It's like, and pushes them back up again.
She gives you a glare. Afternoon, gentlemen. I am Olivia Lees. I am mission leader here. I hope that you are all well. She looks around.
Yes, Mom. I hope you are too.
Yes, Mum.
Mom.
What the hell are you talking to?
I believe you Yanks would say ma'am.
Ah, right.
Yeah, the doctor has given us all a clean bill of health.
Excellent. Yes. I was just up with Jez. I'm not sure if you're aware of the current situation with the UPP ship that we saw a little while ago. And the
captain briefed us up in space, and we looked at the map and saw where everything was. Are they in the way of getting to any of the mineral deposits, or will I be able to still get out and do my work?
We have a survey vehicle. I think we're just going to await the outcome of the Marines. I believe are about to close on the UPP site to investigate, which Jensen is monitoring upstairs in the ops center, which I was just up there checking in on. Yes, she seems to be slightly flustered when talking about the UPP. It seems to sort of befuddle her slightly. Yeah, strange goings on. We thought we had sole claim to this world, and it seems that they have another idea. Although they don't seem to have set down an actual colony. They've their vessel set down, and as far as we could tell, they were sending out pups, drones to look around, and small scouting parties. We don't think they're a large group, and we've got these Marines are headed out there.
It is very strange because this is a very large planet. Why would they land so close to you?
What, are you not aware of the monoliths?
I had seen them from the space maps, but Is that what is drawing the attention?
We
Is
think
it not
so.
a natural formation?
We haven't done a full survey yet. Because of their close proximity and their activity in that area, we haven't ventured out there as much as some of the team want to. I have to keep everybody safe first and foremost, and I'm pleased that she looks at Rose, says, "I'm pleased that Rose, you're here. You know, a bit of law and order. It's going to be a welcome thing. It's a strange day today. There's a storm moving in. You know, it's 3 hours away. It's going to kind of hit us bad. You
And
know."
she says that. Matt goes, moving in?
Oh yeah,
Looking out the window.
this is like a pleasant afternoon, she says, gesturing to the window. It's quite a wet world, Reddy's prospect. We're here for the ore. We're not here for the sights. The tech team are off at the plant, so we've got people out there as well. And with the storm moving in, I'm a bit worried they may have to stay out there. And the Marines are just about to approach the recon the UPP site, so it's kind of all happening.
I would
Yeah,
like
well,
to
I'm
be
sure
kept
you're very
abreast of
busy.
the
Sorry,
of what
Rose?
the Marines find.
Well, this is pertinent information to all 5 of you, I think. So why don't you join me in the ops center upstairs, and we can review what's happening on the screens. They've got a live feed from the Marines upstairs. She goes out, says, "Oh, hang on," and she pulls out of her pocket 5 passes. And she goes, "Here you go, security passes for all of you while you're here. If any of you head back up to the ship, I'd appreciate if you could hand them back in. Not because we don't trust anyone, it's just we only have a certain number of them. We just need to put them in a bit of rotation, and you know, we're trying to keep a track of them. You know, we've lost a couple of these, and you know, we're a bit." It's just
You
annoying.
might need to print some more. There's like 100 people in the deep freeze upstairs.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a think about that. But we can make some more. But everyone's focused on. There's a lot going on. So
you have passes that are so people could get access here. You have unregistered passes.
Well, they've just like lost. You know, someone's dropped them out in the mountains or
Okay.
down a machine. But I assume, I don't know. I have no I don't think there's any reason that anyone would do
Perhaps changing
such a thing.
Perhaps changing the security codes on the passes would be prudent.
Yeah, we'll have to get them all back in and do that. Yes, but that's not a bad idea. Maybe we'll do that at evening shutdown. You know, we generally secure the colony at night. You know, crods are running around out there, so we need to. You know, have you been briefed on the local fauna?
Large aquatic reptiles, we were
They
told.
like to eat Americans, apparently.
What?
They're kind of like crocodiles, but shorter. They're kind of somewhere between a warthog and a crocodile.
Don't you worry, one of them comes near me, I got Sally right here. And he's tapping the revolver inside his jacket.
Ah, yes. Thank you for reminding me. I will need to relieve you of all your weapons. We don't allow people to walk around the colony with guns out. You can have them when you leave, and if you need them for personal defense out in the wilds in case of crods, etc. But we will.
Yeah, this is a civilian operation. There'd be no need for firearms. So they were only brought for if we had to venture outside.
We
Do you
only
wish it
keep.
now?
There are only spare weapons in the survey office and in my office. The survey office on the ground floor kind of acts as our unofficial armory. We never built an armory. We didn't think we'd really need one, but now with all the activity going on, we've taken over one of the survey offices, and we're using that as an armory.
It's always better to have one and not need one than need one and not have one.
I suppose. Right. Well, she she's about to scan through the door, and she kind of turns around and says, "Someone want to do the honors?"
I shall leap up and swipe my card against the door.
The door opens, and you head into the colony. And as you go in, this has kind of got metal grill flooring. The walls are slightly angular. There are piping and ducts running along the walls, wiring and things. There are kind of big metal plates on the walls with giant arrows saying Weyland-Yutani office this way and recreation this way. That kind of stuff. Think Hadley's Hope in Aliens, before it got completely trashed. And she takes you up a stairwell in this central chamber. It's kind of like a big grill staircase, and takes you up. If you scroll down, everybody, to level 2. I'm just going to hide the initiative deck for a minute. And you come into this area here. Can everyone see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And this is a large room with various computers, monitors, screens, a very big wide window, and you can see out across most of the colony itself. You can actually see now that since you've landed, someone in a truck has moved over and is actually refueling your shuttle. Or checking it over, kind of thing, standard. You know that there'll be someone doing that kind of thing. And there is one other person in the room. There is a woman in military clothing, USCMC, like this. I've got my Sulaco t-shirt on. And she turns around and kind of looks across all of you with a kind of measured gaze. Right.
Actually comes to
Please.
Mac. He's playing with his moustache.
I'm Jensen, she says, and turns back to these monitors. And you can see that she's standing in front of a large bank of monitors. And on these monitors, you can see kind of scratchy footage from shoulder-mounted cameras. And there's kind of people sitting, it looks like sitting in one of, from your kind of best guess, one of these survey vehicles. And you can hear one of the Marines saying, "We've just finished our 10-hour journey and we're finally at the UPP site. We're about to go in. Radio silence unless otherwise. Everyone know your jobs. Good luck, everybody." And Jensen turns around and says, "Are you all observers? Are you staying?" And Lee says, "Don't worry, they're fine." And you can see the Marines sort of start to get their guns ready on board the thing and start to. It looks like sort of 5 or 10 minutes of boring activity of Marines loading up and stuff. So she turns back to you and says, "So who are you?" She seems quite accusatory, quite in your face.
There's a second survey team, personnel and investigators for the planet.
Right.
I'm Engels. I am a geoscientist and petrochemical expert. I'm here
You
to
see
assess
her
the planet.
face glaze over when you start talking about geoscience.
Does she have any ranking insignia on her?
She is what was Gorman?
Lieutenant.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
She's a lieutenant because she's American.
Lieutenant.
Yeah, but I'm British, so
Yeah.
lieutenant.
Yeah.
I shall reach into my pocket.
Mhm.
I shall get out my shiny, looks a bit like a Judge Dredd badge.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. Marshall.
And then pin it onto my lapel.
Marshall, she steps forward and offers you her hand for a shake.
I will shake her hand.
I was told that some law and order was coming down. It's a pleasure to meet you. From what I've seen, just to give you my neutral perspective on this, and you see Lee's sort of take a bit of an anxious stance, like she's a bit uncomfortable. Some of these colonists are a little bit unruly. Some of them are a little bit, what's the best way to put this? Introverted. Possibly shouldn't be left alone with heavy machinery, but that's what they've gone and done. But that's just my personal opinion. Sorry, Lees. And she kind of looks slightly uncomfortable.
I should just look at Jensen and say, if you expect someone to go to the arse end of the universe, then you're going to get a certain type of person.
You're not wrong.
That's just the way it is.
You're not wrong. I've got my own bunch, she says, turning around. She doesn't seem like she's some kind of rookie. She seems quite measured, quite, she's a bit older. She looks like she's been, seen action.
So does she know I'm famous?
You're not sure whether she's clocked you? She's let's have an observation roll from you.
Okay. Let me find my character sheet.
While
We
Simon's
didn't
doing that, what
specify
is
the
everybody
height
else?
order.
I think Rose is the tallest. So what's everybody else doing? Are you looking around at the screens or
Max
spreading
found
out?
one
Or
of
looking
those
out the
really
window?
old-fashioned sort of wheelie chairs, and he's like shoved it back and put his boots up on like
Okay.
the nearest desk. He didn't even care what was on there. He just kind of
Your
Just
feet
watching the
are
screens.
resting on some papers that are
Yeah.
some kind of metallurgical analysis from a particular
I'm gonna
region.
look at the screen that the Marines are on and just totally ignore all of the tactical and nonsense like that, and just look for plants and rocks and formations.
There's the boulder. There seems to be some sort of large scree field that they're moving through with large boulders, all the way down to small kind of pebble-sized stones, like a big.
This cements my earlier thought that there may have been an ice age on this planet. It looks like you found a glacial valley to set up in, and the scree here suggests that the ice has proceeded at least that far. This is fascinating.
Yes, Jensen says, yeah, to me, that's just dangerous terrain.
Oh,
Or
of course,
cover.
but it will have been even more dangerous when there was a mile of ice on top of it. But the ice
Maybe.
creates liquid water. Liquid water means that there has been a chance for life to develop, and then the development of life will mean that inevitably, after millions of years, we've got a potential for petrochemicals, which is a very positive sign for the colony. They could be very wealthy if they're able to extract oil and coal and natural gas.
Out of nowhere, Mac just goes, boring! Shut up and watch the telly, man!
Engels, people may lose their life in the next 10 minutes. You need to just watch and let people watch.
Damn, Rose, that was brutal. People didn't even know that.
Are you expecting things to get hot, Lieutenant?
Sorry, just to follow up on Simon's role there, you think that she did recognize you.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe that's why she shook your hand.
Yeah.
I to be honest, I'm not sure. We haven't we're about to get motion trackers out to see if there's anything going on their site. They've got a small temporary building attached to the side of their vessel. I don't know how they're all living in there. We've got a small aerial photo that we've been looking at, and they had a couple of vehicles that were moving to and fro. She says, "Look," and as you watch, you can see the Marines. One of the Marines, called McCabe, it says on the screen, and you can see a little heart rate tracker going, and there's a bit of crackle on the screen. So I mean, they're on the edge of the storm. It's coming in. There's a lot of interference going on out there. You can see McCabe
lose the signal.
Well, it's very crackly now. There's quite a bit of kind of static on it, but you can see on the McCabe screen, it seems to be taking point, that there is this ship that's landed. It's like a small scout survey vessel, bigger than your shuttle. So people could like bunk in there, and there's kind of some kind of glorified tent, it's not a structure, but it's like emergency environmental habitat dome, flexible dome kind of thing, that's attached to the side of the ship to give a bit more living space or something inside. And McCabe's hand comes up like this, and all the Marines stop moving, and you see him look back at Bertram on the screen, and you see Bertram scream. They're looking at each other, and Bertram's like indicates for him to go forward. Perhaps Bertram is the sergeant, and McCabe goes forward, and you see gets out a motion tracker, and you can see he's like looking down at it. But you can't really see it very well because his camera's not mounted on his head; it's mounted on his shoulder, and he's kind of, it's like a body cam, so he's kind of like holding this thing, and you can kind of see it in the bottom corner of the screen. Everybody make observation rolls to see if you can make out what's going on with his motion tracker, if you want to. I mean, Mac's probably not even close enough to really.
No, Mac doesn't really care. Actually, Mac's been just trying to work out where the bar is.
Nibby72 has said, "Stay frosty, people."
When you have observation, you have a number in it.
Yep.
Is that your modifier?
So it uses the stat.
Right. Okay.
And that, and so let me.
So you just need the modifier as 0.
Yeah, just do modifier 0. I'll give you a modifier if you're like, oh, I've got binoculars, +2, I get 2 more dice, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep. How did we all do? Did everyone? Oh, everyone pretty much passed there. That's good. Engels, you got 2 successes. So now, if you get more than the successes you need, you can ask. There's like a little bit more.
I think I did 2.
Oh, did you? Sorry. Oh, yes. Yep. So with observation, you get to do, for every extra success you roll, you get to know the answer to one of these questions. And you can, the theme of the game really comes through with these questions. Is it coming for me? Are there more of them close by? How do I get in, past, away? Engels, you see that there's some very interesting lichen on a nearby rock. Shepard, you can see, you're looking actually half at his vitals, and you can see that there is, adrenaline. His heart rate is starting to pick up. He starts getting closer. You can all see that there is nothing on the motion tracker. And he's slowly moving forwards and closer and closer to this kind of tent structure on the side of the thing. And he looks back, and his Marine buddies start to move up. And as he gets round to one side of it, you can see that there's actually a large torn hole in the side of this tent structure, as if something has like torn through the side of it. And he's like checking on his motion scanner, and he actually lifts it up, aware that he has a camera. Someone, old Uncle Mojo said, just got here. What's the PC kill count? 0. Time to do some Weyland-Yutani Corporation approved backstabbing. So it holds up the scanner so that Jensen can see, and it's like 0 movement. And the Marines move up, and then over the next sort of 5 minutes, they spend some time. They're clearly like talking to each other, checking the place. It looks like, from what you can see, that the UPP people aren't there. Their 2 vehicles are gone, and most of their supplies and gear is gone.
Lieutenant Jensen, would you be so kind as to have your man look at that opening again, please?
Sure.
With his camera.
McCabe, can you circle back round? Have a look at that again. Oh, there. No. Yeah, that there. And he comes closer with the camera. It's really quite crackly now. What are you?
I want to use my analysis talent
Okay.
to observe it and see if the damage done to it is consistent with the crocodile things.
Okay. Make a roll.
I will do that.
It's going to be. Hang on, before you do it.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I'll redo it.
It's going to be -2 because you don't really know these creatures very well. So sorry, I should have said before you rolled, but if you can roll
That's
again
okay.
with -2.
I'll re-roll it, or I can just take 2 off of that one. I don't mind.
2 blank ones or your success? There you
There we
go.
go. I've
Yeah,
re-rolled.
yeah.
I've re-rolled it.
Cool.
And got a
blank ones.
success. So yeah, it was 2 blank ones.
It looks like something with large teeth has bitten, and a big mouth has bitten through the side of the tent, and there's some scratching from claws. But that you think that sounds. Please bear in mind that none of your characters have watched the Alien movies.
Yeah.
Well, in my background,
that's a good point though. Although
unless stated otherwise in your background.
although we won't have seen the movies, are we aware of any of the events that happened in them?
As far as the world is concerned, LV-426 was destroyed in a thermonuclear explosion that was brought on by UPP sabotage.
Right. Okay.
And then subsequent events happened, but they were all explained away.
It might be worth trying to patch you into the ship to see if there's any information about why they're here. I don't know if that's something your Marines were thinking of doing.
They'll do that. It'll take a little while.
I shall turn to Lise and say, is there any history of your crod things attacking large groups of people, or is it something they tend to do for like lone individuals?
They're opportunists and scavengers.
don't they normally live near water?
They do. I don't.
So this would seem out of character. Whatever has done this damage, it's been done with claws and maybe teeth as well.
Well,
Are there any other natural predators you've encountered?
Not in this area, no. No, the crod seems to be the apex, and it's not that impressive, to be honest. They're just dangerous if you don't know they're there.
Is there a bunk or somewhere I can put my stuff?
Something alive.
Yeah, sure. We've got some living quarters that you guys can use while you're waiting, or these offices over here.
Down that way?
You can head over here to living quarters, or you can head over to these offices. They're built as offices, but we haven't got anything in there yet, so up to you.
Are any of the living quarters empty?
Yeah, loads of them. They've got loads of living quarters.
We've got 100 colonists.
That'll suffice as a bunk.
Okay. Yep. Cool.
Okay. Well, I'll wander off.
So you're going to head off. Okay. So you head off towards the living quarters. Make an observation roll at -3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
As you reach about here, I'm just pinging. Yeah. Yep. As you're heading towards one of these 4 living quarters here that are empty, you hear a distant scream.
Is there anyone around?
It seems pretty quiet around here. It looks like this floor. I mean, there's a pub over there, but there's no one there. It's the afternoon, so no one's drinking. There's, as far as you know, there's sort of like 20 odd people in the colony so far, and none of them are kind of in your vicinity. As people have said, there's like a technical team off at the one facility. There's people working in the lab areas.
Could I tell where the scream came from, or do I just kind of...
It sounded like
echoey.
it came from downstairs, and actually one thing I haven't put on there, at the end of this corridor, you saw there's an elevator.
Okay, and is there? Do we have internal comms or anything?
There, next to the elevator, there is an intercom, which
Okay,
could link you to the ops center.
I will go dash to that. And
Okay. While all that's being while Shepard's gone off and done all this, you guys can see that they're searching around and they're gathering up the last few remnants of whatever gear there is laying around, the UPP kind of tech and things like that, and taking it back to their vehicle. And someone is inspecting their ship, and they're kind of taking the place apart and taking it back to their vehicle. And McCabe, on his screen, you can see him say, "Oh, hang on, I've got something," and there's a boom, boom, boom on his motion tracker. And then the intercom goes, and Shepard's on the line. Your voice comes through. What are you saying?
This is Shepard. I heard a scream on the level below. What's going on?
Lees taps the thing immediately. What do you mean scream?
I heard a
I'll
scream.
go down there
Hello.
and check it out.
Okay, let's go. Sorry, Jensen. Rose?
Have they taken our weapons off us yet?
Yeah, they've taken them off. They've got them in the ops center. They're just to the
All
side.
right.
They hadn't been actually stashed away properly
All
yet.
right. I was basically going to go and hide it, but all right.
No, she's kind of.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
When she
All
said
right, yeah,
earlier on.
I'll come running back.
Okay, so you're going to run back into the ops center.
Yeah.
Okay, so by the time Shepard gets back into the ops center, Lee's has gone downstairs with Rose, and is anybody else going?
Oh, I think we need to keep an eye out for droppings.
So you're watching on the screens. Holder, what are you doing?
For poop.
People screaming doesn't really concern me. I'm not.
Unless they're screaming litigiously.
Yeah, that's not really relevant to the reason why I'm here. So
Okay.
I'm going to just keep watching what's going on with the Marines.
Okay.
Where did the others go?
Mac's just twiddling his moustache.
Yeah. I shall ask. So Engels, have you got all your kit loaded? Have you got all your kit unloaded?
Yeah, I brought down what I could. I think I left it downstairs in the waiting room while we came up here. I figure it's not coming up to the living quarters. It's going to go to one of the survey offices or to one of the survey centers. So there's no point in carrying it all the way up and then carrying it all the way down.
No. Maybe Matt can give you a hand getting it all set up.
You what?
Sorry.
Yeah, that would be very helpful. Thank you. Perhaps after we see if there are any feces.
I'll tap Mac on the shoulder as I walk past him. Helpful chat, Mac.
Okay, so Rose, you head downstairs with Lee's.
Yeah.
As you guys get downstairs,
Can I run after them?
You haven't entered the room just yet.
Okay.
You're just about to. So, Rose, you get down the stairs, and through this corridor, there is a trail of blood.
Oh shit! Right through which corridor? Coming from the living quarters.
It looks like going towards the living quarters, and it looked. You can see there's kind of blood on the floor and some foot, like it's not like a huge swathe of blood, but you can see the tracks of like the edge of boots have stepped in the blood, and there's like two pairs. It looks like two people have stumbled down this corridor.
Okay. So have we got a comm?
There's an intercom at the bottom of the between these offices.
Okay. I'll slam my hand on the intercom and say, I think I might know where your UPP people are. We've got casualties.
Lee's
And then-
like is her feet are ringing on the metal rungs of the steps behind you as you're saying this, and she's like, "What? UPP? What?" And she just like runs past you down the corridor.
Yeah.
And as you, I assume you're going to follow her, and then Shepard's going to be just a little bit behind as you kind of hear that as you run into the op center and then come down the stairs. As
Yeah.
you round the corner
Yeah.
here, you
Yeah.
see that there's like an external door that you can actually get out here. It's not open, it's closed, but it's an airlock, so you're aware of it.
Yeah.
At the end, there's an elevator at
Yeah.
each end of this corridor, and then standing in the doorway are two people. One is holding the other.
Yeah.
Sorry, viewers. Let me just go back to my sheet with all the names on. And there is a someone in an actual doctor's, outfit,
Yeah.
who is being held up by Cobb, who you met earlier on. And the doctor is bleeding profusely from
Yeah.
the mid left torso. You can't see very well, but it's clear that's where the blood is coming from as it's kind of
Right,
going
okay.
all the way down the body.
Yeah.
And the doctor is like leaning heavily on Cobb. And Cobb just shoots a look at you and is like, "Get over here, give me a hand, help, help, help. He's stabbed, he's seriously injured, seriously. I don't understand. Why would he do that? Why would he do that?"
Okay. We'll run over to him
I made it down the
and I'll
stairs.
shout
yet?
Shepherd.
Okay. So you run into the med bay.
Yeah.
And the medical center has got a large room with beds in it. And he kind of stumbles in, kicks the interior door open, goes in and puts the doctor kind of rather unceremoniously down on the bed. And as you approach, both of you, you can see that the coat falls away and there are multiple stab wounds in the doctor's body. And he's clearly like not enjoying this. Both of you take 1 stress.
Oh, am I there?
Yes, you've
Okay.
followed up behind. While all that's going on and they've got to the med bay, upstairs, McCabe has got the motion sensor out and is kind of looking at it, and it's like, yeah, there's something. He's like points over in a direction. There's something over there, 25 meters over there, and a couple of Marines are like whoosh, pulse rifles up, and he's like, "You fan out there, and you can see everyone in the op center make observation rolls. It's starting to get really crackly, and you can see what I was going to say is you can see that there's storm clouds now above them, and there's lightning crackling across the screen. And at first you thought it was like super static on the monitors, but you can see it's not. It's like a weird chain lightning across the clouds.
Nobody can see anything.
Does anyone want to push to re-roll any of those?
Yeah, sure. Let's give it a crack.
Okay, so you're going to push.
What does that mean?
So that means you get to re-roll as many of those dice as you want, but you take a point of stress. Yeah, pushing a roll is not without risk because it increases your stress level. You can only push a roll once. If you don't succeed in a second try, you just have to deal with the consequences. So you go up in 1. You gain 1 stress.
Okay, I'm going to push. I'm going to re-roll all of them because
there you go.
otherwise there's not a lot of point.
Mhm.
And I give myself 1 stress.
So don't forget to put your stress in your character sheet because that will then generate the extra dice when you roll. It's nicely done.
So you had it beforehand?
No. That would be after you push.
After, yeah. Okay, so that was in the right order.
Yeah, you've done that right. I'm just making sure.
Splendid.
Roger and Simon have added a point of stress
that's why the dice are yellow with the face huggers.
Yeah, they're the stress dice, which is always fun because you've now got 1 point of stress and that keeps rolling.
Did we all hear Rose's announcement that the UPP were here, even though we hadn't obviously
Yes.
seen them?
So what I was going to say was, as they're doing that observation roll, you see the storm going, the lightning, which you think is static and it's not, and something moving, and they get their pulse rifles up. The intercom blares. Engels, you see, because you're watching the lichen and the heather more than anything else, you see it moving against the wind, off to one side, where they're kind of pointing. You can kind of see the movement, therefore, of this kind of creature or whatever it may be in the brush. And then the intercom goes, and Rose is like, "There's UPP in the place."
So she stored all of our guns here in the op center, didn't she?
Yeah, they're kind of like in a big crate type thing over to one side. It's kind of
Cool. Without
yeah.
even skipping a beat, Mac goes and grabs his holster and puts it back on.
Okay, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. He just puts his back on, and he's just
Okay.
like,
Cool. Okay, you've got your gun. Holder, what
I
are you
should
up to?
point out the section of the screen that I saw movement in. So yeah, Lieutenant, there was some movement here.
Okay, we spotted something on the screen. Scan back to your right slightly. Yeah, that's what I think. And as he's kind of saying those last words, you see something. It's got very crackly now. Something come darting out, a shape come darting out of the shrub, and charge towards them. And old Uncle Mojo is quite appropriate. Remember, short control bursts. You hear of pulse rifle fire suddenly coming through the monitors, quite loud. And Mac, as you've put your gun in your pocket, you've on your belt, you're like, yeah, definitely, the things are slightly heating up here. That then it starts to go very crackly, and you can hardly see what's going on. And Jensen's like, I can't. We might have to check the
Let
relay
me see
or
if I
something.
can check your resolution on these monitors. Can I do anything to tighten up the image?
It's more of a transmission problem.
Uh,
You might have to go to the comm relay.
Can we still see their heart
I'll
rate
do that
and
then.
whatnot?
Mac, you can see their heart rates, and you can see that they're going quite fast.
Has anyone flatlined yet?
No, not yet. Not that you can see.
I'm going to make for the comm relay then.
Okay, so you're going to head off.
It's quite a way off, isn't it?
It's
Yeah,
a way
'cause
off,
it's
so
back
that'll
outside.
take you a little while to get there. While you're heading off, are you just going off on your own? Anyone going with you? Just
No.
for a bit
I
of a
will go
stroll?
to the comm relay and try and improve communication.
Thank you, says Jensen, quite genuinely. That would be great. I'm not a techie myself, so I'd appreciate any help. Holder and Mac, you're kind of still standing there watching as the sound of static and pulse fire kind of phase in and out as the reception is it's like.
Yeah, Mac's no longer in his carefree stance that he has been throughout. You can see that Mac's a little bit more on edge now.
Okay. Back down in the med center, the doctor is bleeding profusely.
Wait, hang on a minute. I just realized this is like Alien, right? This is a horror game, and we've literally just all split up.
Yeah.
I know.
I know, it's
Well, I left you
great.
on your own.
It's great.
Doing it right.
It's great. Absolutely great. Right, so I assume someone wants to do some medical stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna basically just into almost the drilled medical stance that he would go into,
Yep.
from years of training and
Mm-hmm.
active service.
Yep. Okay, let's make a medical aid roll.
Okay, if there's good stuff around me, can I use that to help?
You will have the equivalent of a medical kit, which will give you a +2.
Wait, back in 1 sec while medicing is happening.
Sure. So let's make a medical aid roll, and they'll recover a number of health points equal to the number of successes you roll.
I rolled it, but all it rolled was the yellow dice by the looks of it.
Hang on, let me check. Medical
Oh, it was
aid.
a success roll though.
Yeah, the one stress was a success, but
Classic
Zero
Roger.
modifier.
1 dice, 1 success.
What did you type? +2?
yeah.
No, you just type 2 if it's a positive. Otherwise,
Alright.
it nullifies it. So
I'm just going to take that out and then roll the rest of them, and then I'll add it back in.
yeah, it's weird like that. If you put a plus in when it's already thinking of one, then it won't.
Right, so
Okay,
2
So you
successes.
got 2 successes. So you patch them up. You've got this kind of sealant, medical sealant spray type thing that you're very familiar with from, this is either used in combat situations or crappy colonies on the edge of the galaxy. You kind of spray this stuff on the wound. You get the bandaging, the wadding, the gauze, everything kind of placed nicely. You give them some painkillers and everything.
The door was opened, I think. I think the door's just been...
We can hear
Simon,
you,
we can hear
Simon.
you. You give him some painkillers, and we can hear you, Simon. That was just you talking to Lise. Yeah, shut the door. I think the door's just open. And basically, the doctor is unconscious, but not dead. And you think if you hadn't intervened, then they would have been dead. This was severe. And he's going to need some serious help because you think he might have organ damage, although you may have done enough to stop that.
From looking at the wound, would I have an idea on what caused that?
Stab
Knife.
wounds.
Was it a knife?
Being
though?
stabbed.
Looks like a knife. Yeah.
Looks like a knife.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask
Looks
Cobb
like a
what
knife.
happened?
Smells like a knife. Walks like a knife.
Yeah. Can I ask Cobb
Yeah.
what
Cobb's
happened?
like shaking his head, and he's like, I don't understand it. Why would you do that? That's
What happened? Where did it happen?
Ross stabbed him.
Okay. Did you see Ross stab him?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's Ross now?
He ran off into one of the labs. I mean, we were talking, and the doc was asking. We do, like weekly medical checks on everyone just to make sure we haven't been hypoxic for too long. We haven't picked up anything from outdoors.
Cobb, come with me. I need you to identify Ross.
I suggest we recover our weapons.
Hang on. He's. Whoa, hang on. Whoa, hang on. This doesn't make sense. This violence has completely thrown him. This doesn't make sense. I'll take you over to the labs. It's crazy that he'd stab him. He literally, I mean, he was just asking him to do a medical check on him. To do the standard checks. I've just had mine the other day.
Is the colony leader still in the room?
Yeah, she's looking a bit lost and a bit confused. I don't understand this, Rose. We're going to need your help. If someone's violent, we'll need you to restrain them.
Yes, I'll deal with it. I'll say, is Max still there?
Max upstairs.
Max upstairs.
Yeah. Bring me my sidearm.
Tell him to bring mine as well.
Okay, you come in from the intercom in the doctor's office.
Yeah.
So you're like, yeah.
All it is Mac do this and Mac do that. I gotta get some gear for the scientist guy. I got to get guns for the other guys. This whole thing is going to hell.
Okay.
And I grab the guns and I kind of stomp down the stairs. I'm not happy about being made to move.
I'd like to use one of my abilities. I'm going to turn to Rose and say, I'm sure there's all a very logical explanation for this. I'm sure you'll get to the bottom of it very shortly in a very calming way, and use my calming presence to remove a stress from him.
Oh, there you go.
Well, get in.
I can use it once per turn, apparently. I'm not quite sure how long a turn is, but...
It's like 10 minutes.
Cool. There you go.
Yeah, a round is like 6 to 10 seconds. A turn is 6 to 10 minutes. And a shift is 6 to 10 hours. Okay, so you guys are going to let me get my screen up. Here we go. Sorry, the viewers can't see, but I'm flicking between about 10 different things here with all my prepped notes and my maps and my stuff going on. I've been looking forward to this. Yeah, he headed over towards the labs. It, he's dangerous. He's clearly dangerous. He just like snapped. He just didn't want. The doctor was gonna. Yeah, Cobb's kind of saying this as he's kind of leading you through the center of the colony.
Yeah.
You have seen the schematic of this colony, by the way.
Yeah.
So you're aware that the lab center has an entrance from the survey garage. Yep.
Yeah.
It has an external eastern entrance, and it has a southern entrance. These are all secure airlock style things.
Is there a sensor on those airlocks?
There's not sensors. There's closed circuit TV cameras. So you've got cameras tracking things, and if someone's in the ops center, they could maybe check through that for you.
Yeah.
So you can stop.
Except nobody's in the ops center anymore.
Well,
no, that's
Holden is.
Holder's
still up there.
Well,
we're going to flip back to Holder briefly. Holder. All this stuff's going on. People running around with guns and picking things up, and the Marines shooting and all that kind of stuff. And you see the life signs of a Marine called Delmar flatline. You then see the life signs of a Marine called Powell flatline on the screens. And Jensen's kind of distracted, like all this stuff going on, people dishing out guns, people running off to the relay center, the comm relay and all that kind of stuff. She has momentarily looked away, and you're standing there watching as far as you can tell, either two Marines' heart rate monitors have fallen off, or two Marines have just died.
Can I tell from the feed which of those is the case?
There's like just so much static, it's really hard to tell. And then momentarily, Powell's comes on, and all you can see is cloudy sky. The camera comes on, you can see cloudy sky.
Okay. I'm going to...
Where the fuck is it? You hear, where the fuck is it?
Have I got comms to wherever Rose is?
Yeah, you're not sure where Rose is right now. There's no mobile phones, remember. There's radios, so you can get yourselves equipped with radios, but you don't have them currently. But the colony will be able to dish those out to you if you want them. So you can try and come down to the medical center. They're in the medical center.
Well, I'm not moving.
Okay, sure.
I'm not leaving.
You could intercom the medical center and see if anyone's down there. That's the last place Rose was.
Okay, if I had that information, then I'll try that.
Okay. Shepard, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Has Mac come down with the weapons?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
So
handed them out, and then I've sort of headed back upstairs.
Okay, so Mac's probably left already. All right.
Well, no, as he's giving you the guns and you're in the doctor's office handing those out, the intercom goes, and Holder is on the intercom. What do you say, Holder, on the intercom?
Me, sorry, I forgot who it was. So do I know who answered it?
You're just like, hey.
Oh, this is me, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Rose, you still down there?
This is Shepard. No, he's not. He's gone to find the attacker.
Okay, I don't know what's going on out there, but there was nothing in the documentation from the company about anything anything like this going on. So I don't know what the protocol is we need to follow here, but I'm seeing life signs dropping out or comms going down or something. With
You
these
guys
Marines.
hear Jensen in the background. What the fuck? And she's like, you can hear her like, somebody answer me behind Holder as he's talking to you. You can kind of hear, somebody help, answer me. What's going on? Lay down, stand of
Suppressing
fire, and
fire.
suppressing fire, and all after the incinerators.
Fall back in whatever it was.
Yeah. And there seems to be kind of chaos going on at the UPP site.
I'll pass it on when Rose gets back.
Okay. So when Matt gives me the guns, I'll just say that we're heading to the labs. There's closed circuit TV that's will monitor all the exits.
Mm.
Can he get someone to keep an eye on that for me?
Cobb pulls a radio off his belt and hands it to you, Rose, and says, "You can comm the op center from this. Just that's channel 2."
Can I lock the med center door?
You can.
Basically, I want to leave it but lock it, so if he's around, he can't come back and finish the job, so to speak.
Yes, Lee says I will stay with the doctor to make sure he doesn't die.
Keep the door locked. Do you have radios?
I've got a radio. Yeah. In the office downstairs office under the op center, there's a box of radios. Dish them out to you new guys, and we'll stay in touch. I'm on band 12 on mine.
Acknowledge. I'm just going to kind of leave and run. I'm going to sprint to the place she told me that the radios were.
Okay, so it's not far. It's just in the office here. This one.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Right. So just around the corner.
Yeah, just you kind of sprint around the corner in there. While you're doing that, Engels. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. You've been on a nice stroll.
No, it's raining and horrible out.
So yeah, and this tunnel that you're walking through is like a kind of semi-transparent. So there's like windows. There's a bit of kind of curve to it. There's kind of struts and things, so you can kind of see outside.
I'm not going to run, but I'm not going to walk. I'm going to do like a brisk jog type.
Okay. Oh, right.
Deal to
like
get
a little. Hop, hop,
yeah.
Hop. Okay. Down there. That's cool. So you make your way
to the comm relay.
You make your way down there and into the comm relay. The comm relay is like full of heavy machinery and gear, and this room here is kind of the interior technical access to all the gubbins and the machinery. And here you can do amplitude and wavelength and all kinds of weird stuff, band frequencies and all kinds of things that I don't actually know about in real life, but you can futz with the comm relay. It's like a big dish thing that's like rotating and that kind of thing.
Is there the headset and console in there for operator use as well?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll pull the headset on and try comming ops.
Okay, you comm ops. Holder. Engels comms you.
Yeah. Hello, is this operations?
It's Holder. Who's that?
Oh, hello, Holder. It is I, Engels. I'm in the comm relay. I'm going to try and improve your picture.
Right, go ahead.
Okay, so you must let me know when this starts to work.
Okay.
Unless I can intercept the feed.
No.
And see as well.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay, well, I shall futz.
Oh no, hang on. You can. But only one feed at a time because you've only got one monitor.
Yeah. Well, I shall try to intercept one of the feeds and boost the gain on the signal to see if we can angle the dish in such a way as to pick up better signal from all of the Marines because they're all together. So if you improve one, all the others will get better as well.
Yeah.
So I'll do that.
I like the logic.
I'm going. That's the Comtech role.
Yes, that is a Comtech. Communications technology sounds like the right one.
Any modifiers?
I would say +2 because you're in the comm relay. This is the place to do it. 1 success on all those dice.
One success on
But that
all
means
of
you've
that.
done it. You only need 1
Yeah.
success, remember. So you managed to focus on one feed, as you said, and re-angle, re-magnify, all these kinds of things. And in the op center holder, you can see McCabe's screen start to clear a little bit. And then as that one does, the others, most of them seem to clear. And you can now see that McCabe is the only Marine alive. And is running. And his heart rate's just going he's going like this across the gravel. And he's like he at one point like trips over, hits the floor, and Jensen's going, Marine, what's going on? I've got to get back to the vehicle, gotta get back, running, and like jumps in through the kind of doorway to the vehicle and shuts the door, and it's very crackly, very he's like, there's something
I've seen aliens. There's one in there with him.
there's something strange out there. Holder, you did see that the door was open as he approached it. There's something strange out there. This isn't a crod. This is something else. This is I don't know. It looked like a crod. I'm not sure. I'm gonna start this up and I'm gonna head back. Oh man, game over, man. They're all dead. What am I gonna do? Man? Oh, and Jensen's going, get yourself together, Marine. Get that vehicle back here. We need all that stuff that you guys recovered. Get back here and just, I mean, that thing's won't be able to track you all the way back to base, will it? And he like starts kind of turning on the vehicle, and it starts going and starts turning it around and rumbling away from the scene. They'd like hidden it and parked a fair bit away, so he's obviously been running for a while Ingalls was jogging down to the comm relay. He was frantically sprinting for his life.
I didn't know they were
No,
dying when I left. They were
I know
fine.
you didn't. I know you didn't. The vehicle starts to move towards the base, and then the transmission goes again, and like the whole feed goes like and not in a he just died way, but in a
It's cut off.
Yeah.
Have we still got comms?
Jensen looks at you like, what the fuck just happened? What just happened? McCabe's the only one alive? This is what the hell? What the hell was that? What's going on this fucking planet? Where's Lee's? Where is everybody?
Have I made my way back upstairs yet?
Yeah, you as you get upstairs, she's saying this. She's like, they're all fucking dead. What's going on? Where is what's going on this fucking planet?
What do you mean they're all fucking dead?
Yeah. Look, oh God, McCabe's heading back to base. We need to. I mean, he's like, it's going to take him a few hours to get back, but we need to check their stuff when they get back. You know, I need your team's help now to figure this out.
You are talking to the wrong guy, sister. You're telling me the 4 of your Colonial Marines have died. You want me and my friends, and then I'm already my friends. I don't really give a damn about them. You want me, a pilot, to stick around here after 4 Marines just died.
You've got a job to do, haven't you?
Yes, I bloody well do have a job to do.
Look, I need your help, and there's some weird shit going on downstairs as well. This isn't a time to start slacking off or stepping away. We need to step up. Come on,
Is that
man.
what your Marines did? They stepped up.
They stepped up. They did their duty. We don't know what's out there. We're on the fringe of space, man. This is.
It sounds like what you're saying is just deal with it because I need you and I'm sick of your bullshit.
No one asked you, Holden. No one asked you.
I was out of character. I
Sorry.
was putting a quote in.
It was difficult. You told us you were fully in character for the whole thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Total immersion.
True.
When the
Fine
screen
line.
cut off, did it cut off all of the feeds or just McCabe's
No,
feed?
just everything. Just everything went kind of dead. You think that probably the storm rolled in over the top of the vehicle, and the kind of electromagnetic kind of interference just like shorted everything out.
Did it though?
Did it?
So is the storm really bad outside now? Like really bad?
You can't see it from here. Remember, they were off in the mountains,
Yeah,
so
valid point.
they said it was about 3 hours off. So now it's like 2.5 hours off or something.
I look back at Jensen and it's like, look, no offense, but you got maybe 2 hours of good flying time, which means we can get some people off this rock before it gets real bad. Now something's out there.
We need to find out what the fuck's going on.
Well, you can find out what's going on, but people here are civilians. They're not soldiers.
There's something in them. There's some big crod in the mountains. Calm down.
That ain't no crowd. I've heard stories. Ain't no crowd. And I'll walk out.
Okay, you walk off.
Okay. Mac's not happy.
Right, so Engels, you're in the comm center, in the comm relay. Shepard, where are you going?
So once I've got to the room diagonally opposite, virtually,
Yep, with the radio.
I'm going to set the radios to the frequency that I was told, or the band I was
12.
told. Take 5 of them.
Okay.
Set to that,
Mhm.
and then
Okay.
head back to the command center, ops center.
Ops center. Okay, so you go back upstairs to the ops center. Right, Rose.
Yep.
You are heading over to the other side. You've passed by various people now, and they're all in a kind of state of, when someone pulls up police tape and everyone's kind of standing there looking a bit worried and looking on.
Yeah.
They watch you and Cobb as you go past. You kind of see these faces of these people. You don't really sort of take them in as much. You see them, but you're focused on something. There are lots of people working. Well, I say lots of people. Let me get this right. There are about 5 or 6 people working in and around the survey, survey storage, survey offices, and the garages. No one's gone near this door. Cobb says to you, he went in through there. I don't know if he's still in there, but if you can radio the ops center, see if they can check the cameras.
Okay. Well, I'll do that then. I'll radio the op center.
Okay. All the other characters, I believe, apart from Engels, are in the ops center. So Holden, Shepard, and Mac, you're all together again in the ops center when Rose radios in.
Okay.
I'll answer.
What are you saying, Rose?
Okay. So looks like one of the colonists has gone rogue and stabbed up the doctor. So I'm over at the labs. Can someone check the feeds?
Yeah, one moment. I'm in the
labs.
comms relay. I should be able to access all of the cameras from here, if you like.
Okay, so I'm in the survey garage. I'm about to go in. I need to know if he leaves through one of the exits, either the east or south exits, and then if you can see him.
Was I just making up total bullshit then, Pete? Can I actually access anything from the comms relay?
You can, but you'll be looking at. You've only got one screen here, so you'll remember you'll be looking at one screen at a time.
I'm going to bring up the area.
In the ops center, they'll have like a security area where there'll be multiple screens. Like in the
I'll run over
Aliens
to that.
movie.
I'll run over to that and bring them up.
Okay, but Engels, you can see what's going on if you cycle through them fairly quickly.
I'm going to try cycling through them.
Try and keep up with them. Okay, so you turn them on. Let's have a. You can make either a comm-tech or a observation roll. The two of you, Engels and Shepard, to see if you flick through the right ones or see the right thing.
Any modifiers?
No. This is quite tricky. Oh, Engels,
Dun dun dun.
you rolled a facehugger
I did.
as you're doing this. That's quite appropriate, actually. You can see that Lab 1 isn't fully completed, and that in fact the kind of the interior walls have only really kind of been put up, and there's still plastic sheeting hanging up around the area, as if they haven't pulled it all back and put all the furniture in, kind of thing. And there's no kind of functioning lights apart from in one corner you can see a flashlight that is lit, and there is the silhouette of a man behind a kind of semi-transparent plastic sheet, and he's kind of like kind of going like this, kind of, and you need to make a panic roll. So the way we do this is you roll one 6-sided die and you add your current stress level.
It's actually already set up if you press the panic button.
Oh, there you go. Panic. Panic! Surely there should be a don't panic button, shouldn't there?
Where is the panic button?
On your character sheet.
Under the roll buttons.
Oh, there it is. I see it. Yeah.
Oh, 6. Okay, so it freaks you out for a moment, but you keep it together. You manage to hold on to
Marshall
your...
Rose, there's a man having some kind of seizure in Lab 1.
Shepard, you also saw this.
I'm just going to immediately relay to Rose where he is.
Okay.
I'm, not panicking.
Cobb's looking at you like...
I'm not panicking. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. I'll tell Cobb, move back behind the survey storage, make sure no one else comes through. I'll knock 3 times. And then I'll give him the look.
Okay.
It'll all be fine. I'll give him the, it'll all be fine.
Okay.
As in, I've got manipulation, which means it'll all be fine.
Okay. Do you want to try and make a manipulate roll? Or do you just want to give him the eye?
Well, I don't want him to overly stress.
Okay.
So we'll I have to do the... Did I do
Okay.
it?
Yeah. Okay. So he's like, okay, man. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll stay here. If what do I do if he? You handle it. Okay. You're the marshal.
Right. And then I'll go through the door.
Okay. So your new pass allows you to get through the door, and you go through, your feet clanking on the metal grill of the floor. There's a faint drip somewhere, as if they haven't fully sealed all of these, units together. Drip, 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 and you walk down to this kind of crossroads between the labs, and you can see ahead. There's like that area is actually all like a big airlock area with suits and breathers and things. All not like big spacesuits, but like all weather kind of Mac type things.
Okay.
Over in there, and there is some blood on the door, which is open in front of you, and you can see into Lab 2, which is clearly they've just started to furnish this area. It's fairly clear there's none of the kind of human detritus that happens, like shuffled bits of papers and a cup someone forgot to take to the kitchen and all that kind of thing. It's still fairly like there's a desk, there's a big mineral examination machine, there's a radio spectrometer and all that kind of stuff. And further ahead you can see there's another door.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my breather out. I'm going to put my breather on, and I'm basically going to open east door.
Oh, okay, so you want to go and open the airlock to like...
I'm going to open the airlock.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it open.
Okay.
And then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to open the door to Lab 2, and I'm going to leave it open.
Yep. Okay, so you want to try and effectively gas him out.
And then, obviously, when I get to Lab 1, I'll open Lab 1, and I'll step back, and I'll draw my gun.
Okay. So you've opened the doors.
Yeah, and I'm now looking at my timer to see, and I'm going to wait 10 minutes before I go in.
Okay, right. So you open that door to Lab 1.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
door
step
opens.
back. So I'm assuming I've got light in Lab 2.
There's light in Lab 2. There's kind of strip lights,
So
kind of fitted into the ceiling.
So basically I've stepped back.
Mhm.
I'm stood in the middle of Lab 2, gun in hand.
Yep. Okay.
Looking at the open door.
Okay, cool. The door is open. You step back. You have your gun in hand.
Yeah.
You're, it's not fully up. It's like ready.
Yeah.
You feel your heart in your chest start
Yeah.
to beat a bit faster.
I'm getting a few Blade Runner flashbacks.
And through the door, there is only a small bit of light. Obviously, a bit of light comes in from where you are. A little bit of light comes out from the chamber beyond. And it kind of cuts through in kind of angles as if there's kind of weird struts in the room blocking it at certain points. And you can see this kind of plastic sheeting hanging up. Not all the walls are put together properly. There's a bit of exposed cabling here and there, and it's quite, as I said, it's dark. And then suddenly, there's like a, it sounds almost pained as much as angry, as through one of the plastic sheets, sort of pressed to his body, this person comes running through the doorway, just screaming, tears. You can see wet face, blood on the hands, and this person is wearing coveralls under there. You can't tell, but you have like brief moments to react.
Okay.
Not wearing a breather.
Obviously, he's not wearing a breather.
Yeah.
How long's it been?
It's
So
like a minute.
I'm-
It's not long after you've standing there. It's
Okay.
kind of figured it out and like gone a bit mental.
Yeah. Okay.
So what we're going to do
Yeah.
is we're going to draw initiative.
Okay.
So what we do is I will show the initiative deck.
Yep.
And I will deal, if you guys are right to carry on for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
We have a first little combat. Just a mini one, just to get the feel of it.
To whet the appetite, as they say.
Indeed. Right, drawing initiative. Here we go. So I will deal you a card. Deal one card to Simon. Yeah. Did you get a card? Should be near your name.
Near my name.
You did.
On the count
Roll
sheet.
20.
On
Yeah.
roll 20. Should like literally be right next to your name.
Bottom bar where it says Simon C, you've got
Oh,
a
I
little
can see.
picture of a card above it.
So if I you've got a
Yeah,
Both
I've got.
got one.
Oh, okay. I've got a 2.
yeah, you got a 2.
I think I actually have to click on it and then draw it out. So yeah,
And
I've got a 2.
They both say 1 where I am.
No,
Oh, no,
you've got
it
a
means
six.
you've got one card.
Right, okay, so you got a 6.
Let me pop that back up there. Yeah, so I've got a 6. I made these cards the other day. And you've got a 2. So yours is lower than mine.
Yeah.
So that means you get to react first. Slow and
Okay.
fast actions. When it is your time to act in the round, you can perform 1 slow action and 1 fast action, or 2 fast actions.
Okay.
A slow action usually consists of rolling for a skill. A fast action is quicker and doesn't always require rolling dice. I will give you an example of some of these actions. Slow action is things like throw a weapon, reload, burst of full auto fire, shoot, firearm, close combat attack. That's a slow action. A fast action is like draw a weapon, move, grapple, aim, cover, run. So they're all the kind of extra bits. They're like big actions are slow actions.
You should tackle him right here. Your face.
with my face.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a really good idea. What are you going to do?
I'm going to shoot him.
Okay, so you're going to shoot your firearm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you also 1 point of stress
Okay.
because this is your first physical violence on this planet. You're
Stay on the job. We
in-
just landed like half an hour ago, and
Yeah.
some maniac's trying to kill you.
Okay, so shooting. Here we go.
So do I get a modifier because I'm prepared?
I will give you a +1 because you are prepared. Yep, and it's short range, so it's. Oh, actually, you're engaged.
You could do an aim as a fast action, couldn't you, and then shoot?
You could do an aim as a fast action and then shoot.
I think perhaps instead of getting a bonus for an aim, I want to shoot him in a non-lethal place.
Well,
Like
generally the
kneecap him.
difficulty is with shooting people is that it just hurts lots and they might die from blood loss. So let's see what happens, shall we?
You
Okay.
can also shoot him with a revolver.
Okay, it's not a fire to wing them weapon.
So
I winged him. I took off a third of his torso.
so we're going to make a ranged combat roll,
Yeah.
and you're going to have a +1. He's at short range. You're not actually engaged yet. He would have to move into engaged range.
Yeah.
And this is a zonal thing, combat and movement in Alien, like Best Left Buried and Mothership. Oh, no, not Mothership. Like Best Left Buried is
Star
kind
Wars.
of like
Yeah.
Star Wars. That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so ranged combat roll from Rose.
Yeah. So I just do
With +1. So when the modifier
+1.
comes up, just put 1. Don't put plus,
Yeah.
just put 1.
Ooh.
Oh! 3 successes. Okay, now when you get 1 is required to hit, and your gun does. Oh,
2
sorry,
damage.
we didn't add the bonus of your gun. Your gun should give you another die.
Oh yeah, another +1.
Yeah, so you should, on your
At the bottom
character
of your
sheet you can
page.
roll 1 dice.
At the bottom of your page is a weapon. There's a weapon tab you can fill out, and it
Yes, I
actually
filled it out.
you visit. So it might already put his bonus in there.
Ah, well, let's just roll 2 more dice. Sorry, 1 more die for now.
Okay.
And on your character sheet you can roll 1.
I've got 1d3 or 1d6.
1d6. Roll 1d6. No, it's not a 6. So
Okay.
not another success. So you got 3 successes. Now you do a base of 2 damage.
Yep.
If your attack hits, you inflict damage equal to the weapon's damage rating. For every extra success that you roll, so you got 2 extra successes.
Yeah.
Choose one of these stunts. 1, inflict another point of damage.
Yeah.
2, pin down your enemy. Needs to make an immediate panic roll. 3, position yourself and get to exchange your initiative score with your enemy, taking effect next round if you wanted to, but you've got a better initiative, so that's probably not a good one for you. Your target drops a weapon or another handheld object, you choose which, or your opponent falls to the ground or is pushed back, for example, through an airlock. I love that example.
It's your kneecapping, though, right there, isn't it?
So you do 2
I
damage.
can do 2,
Now, if you
yeah.
wanted to, you could do more damage.
Right.
Or you could do 2 damage, pin him down, make him make a panic roll, and or fall to the ground and drop his weapon.
I think I'll make him fall to the ground and drop his weapon.
Okay, cool. So you do 2
Yeah.
points of damage to him. Blood sprays out across the plastic sheeting and across the wall behind you, misses you.
Yeah.
And a knife falls away. It's like a kitchen meat, like a chef's knife, not a dagger or a combat knife or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
And he drops to the floor, whimpering.
Okay. Now that's a fast action, isn't it?
That was your
whimpering?
Is that a long action?
Your shot was a slow action. So you now get 1 fast action.
Okay.
Which
you
can run, get up, draw a weapon, block attack, pick up item, shove enemy to short range, grapple, retreat, aim, seek cover, assume overwatch, grab the wheel, drive, use item.
Okay. I'd recover his knife.
Okay, you pick his knife up. Are you saying anything to him as you do that?
Well, I suppose that would just be an action. You're under arrest.
Okay. He looks up at you, and the plastic falls away from his face, and he goes, "You don't understand, man. They're coming." And you realize he has cut the skin off of his face around his mouth to reveal his teeth in a
Oh, right.
very gnashy kind of way, and there's blood dripping down his face. He is capitulating, but
Yeah.
he has mutilated himself, and he has got scratches all over his body. And you are thinking, what the hell has happened to this colonist?
Yeah.
And I think we're going to end the episode there.
Wicked.
I'm going to have a nightmare.
Okay. So you guys managed to split the party 5 ways, which is always fun. A little bit of downtime bits, a little bit of spotlight for everybody there over the episode, which is good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that first session. I think we were getting used to the rules. You're figuring out the colony and what I'm doing with the story and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully our viewers enjoyed that. I've been looking forward to doing this for a long time, and getting to put the maps up and start scaring people. And as I think someone said in the thing, like, please forever saying sleep well. So next week we will have episode 2, where you'll start to find out why this person is doing what he's doing and what might be off in the mountains. We also have next week, Ben, Pathfinder. That's right, isn't it?
Path of the Pilgrim on
Path of the
Tuesday.
Pilgrim. And you guys are actually on the Path
Actually,
of
on
the
the
Pilgrim.
Path of the Pilgrim
Yeah, you
now.
got there after 6 episodes. That's cool. Good lead in. 5 episodes. Yeah. No, that's cool. So we've got Pathfinder on Tuesday. I think we've got the finale of Star Wars Tale of the Warlords on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we've got episode 2 of LV-832. Alien RPG. I've really enjoyed that first session. Thank you, everyone. I mean, I know there's been a few bits where you've kind of there's bits of story going on with other characters. We'll get into
Setting the scene, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's the build.
We're building.
It's the build. You got to have that at the beginning. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that. All of our maps that I've used today will be on the Patreon at the weekend. I'll get an opportunity to put them up. So our adventurer tier, that's $4 a month, and above patrons will get access to those maps. If I make any changes or additions or more maps, you'll get those as well. So please check that out. Also check out our Discord. We've got loads of stuff going on there, and we'll probably talk about this show on there as well. And obviously all those social medias and everything as well. So that's cool. I think the viewers seem to like that. Everyone seems to be saying good stuff, and great session and role playing. So thank you guys for playing your characters well. Thank you for taking on the challenge of the unknown character as well, because with these sci-fi horror ones, I do like to have this my alternative character background thing with your common knowledge, your private knowledge, your secret knowledge, and then your goal for the arc. So hopefully that will all come out as we go. Some
it
hints.
worked so well in Mothership, didn't it?
Well, we'll see how it works in Alien, and you get your money back in maps on Patreon. I hope so. I try. That was Please Forever on the chat there. Right. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much, players. Awesome first session, and we'll see you in a week for episode 2 of LV-832.
Yeah.
See you then.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye bye. Let's hang on. Switch to the other screen first, Peter.